Hello, a very good evening. Welcome to tonight's News Focus live and direct from our studios on the 10th Avenue Extension, Greater Estate. Beautiful Monday evening. It is good to be with you. We're looking at all the latest stories that has made headline. Ghana leads a historic resolution at the UN declaring slavery a crime against humanity, calling for reparation. The move has global political weight despite resistance from Western countries. The President, John Dramani Mahama, has returned to Ghana after leading the process. Government plans to amend the Procurement Act to limit sole sourcing. This comes amidst growing public concern about transparency in contracts awards. Those are the big topics for tonight. Government officials, including the Vice President, have visited the collapse site in Accra New Town. Gender Ministry mourns victim. Now, the question you ask is about safety failures plus accountability. The President has ordered action against illegal mining levies, and he is pushing for stronger environmental governance. Fight against galamsey gaining some momentum, and Finance Minister plans a new law to regulate government borrowing, economic discipline plus debt control. That's how you can call that one. Ghana's Foreign Affairs Ministry undergoing reforms under Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa Airport. Welcome for UN Access Council, emphasizing national efforts. The President said it is not the most pressing, the debate. There's this debate about LGBTQ plus still ongoing. And the President Mahama says it is not the most pressing issue, but most follow democratic process. So we're looking at the social policy against national priorities. So these are some of the angles we're looking at, where Ghana lost 2-1 to Germany today in a friendly international. And this comes after a heavy loss to Austria. The team also recently shaken by the hotel robbery incident abroad. Pressure on stars to redeem themselves. But I think it's not a bad start for today. So let me say a very good evening and welcome to the News Focus tonight. Ghana stands at a critical crossroad from leading a historic global call for reparation at the United Nations and also confronting serious concern here at home over building safety, governance, and how public contracts are awarded. As government moves to amend procurement laws and limits sole sourcing, many Ghanaians are asking, is this reform coming too late, or is a genuine step towards accountability? I'm saying that as government moves to amend procurement laws and limit sole sourcing, many people, I believe you out there, you're also asking, is this reform coming too late, or is it a genuine step forward towards accountability? At the same time, question remains over infrastructure failures, environmental challenges like galamsey, and the broader issue of trust in leadership. Tonight, we go beyond the headlines to ask the hard questions, demand answers, and explore what this development means for you, the Ghanaian citizen. This is News Focus, where the nation's biggest issues meet real conversation. Tonight we're looking at all the angles we need to take to, and then we give you the opportunity to also write in on 0537158638 is the number. 0537158328 is the numbers. From the sole sourcing concern to infrastructure failure at Ghana's global voice on reparation tonight, we ask, are we getting governance right? Now, the first question I'm asking, Ghana leads the UN resolution on slavery reparation. Government moves to amend procurement law that's sole sourcing, and Accra building collapse concern crack down on galamsey. New loans act in the pipeline. These are not isolated stories. They all point to one thing: governance, accountability, and trust. And tonight, that is what we're looking at. We're looking, why is sole sourcing still widely used under this government? Why? Now, with respect, Ghanaians don't want promises, they want proof. And that is what we are looking at in tonight's edition of the News Focus. So we brought you all the necessary information you need, and also to look at the issues that pertains to our governance as a nation. You can also send us your thoughts on 053-715-8638, 053-715-8638 is the numbers. You can share your thought with us in tonight News Focus. Share your thought. When it's time for us to go for the phone-in, we'll activate the phone lines, and then you can also add your voice. But remember, we live across our social media handle on NBN 360, be it YouTube, X, or Facebook. All you need to type is NBN 360. And once you type NBN 360, we good to go. We good to go. And that is a story for tonight. So join us and let's do this together. Exactly 10 p.m. We make way for the next set of program. That's Zoe Moment. Will also come your way, and then we can all have retired to bed today. So thank you once again for being with us, for keeping your channel locked on MBN TV. Now the next thing we're going to do is to go to the Eastern region. What is happening at the Eastern region? Remember, the former president in the person of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is asking that the current administration completes the Agenda 111. Remember last week we showed you some information on what is happening about healthcare. Agenda 111 project was launched by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. It aimed to build 111 hospitals across Ghana. Many projects remain incomplete or under construction. The current government now faces pressure to complete them. Now let's turn to healthcare. The Agenda 111 hospital project was introduced to transform access to healthcare across Ghana. But years later, many of these facilities remain incomplete. The big question tonight is, will this hospital finally be completed, or will they become another political promise left unfinished? The state of the Agenda 111 project funding challenges. Remember, the current administration raised that issue, that political continuity, change of government, impact on healthcare delivery, and accountability for delays. Let's take a listen to the former president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, during the centenary celebration.
Agenda 111 was designed to correct this imbalance by constructing district hospitals, regional hospitals for the newly created regions, specialized psychiatric facilities, and the rehabilitation of key health institutions across the country. It is a program that reflects a simple but powerful principle that no Ghanaian, regardless of location, should be denied access to quality health care. We must also be honest. Not every project was realized. Not every project was completed. Some facilities reached advanced stages but could not be finished before our term ended. Agenda 111 must be continued. Continuity, not disruption, is how health systems succeed. What was built must be maintained. What was started must be completed. What was learned must not be lost. That is how progress is ensured. A good indication of this is the completion of the Vamed and Eurogen hospital projects, inherited from the previous administrations of the first Mahama government and the Kufuor governments. by my government. It is noteworthy that recently, one of the most prominent traditional leaders in our country, the Domahime Oseade Yoajiman II, has had occasion to put this before the President of the Republic himself. The transition document submitted by the outgone NPP government to the incoming NDC government sets out in detail the various stages of completion of the active sites of the Agenda 111 project. We also embrace innovation as a tool for transformation. When we introduced medical drone delivery services, there were those who doubted its feasibility. That initiative has become a critical part of our healthcare supply chain, delivering millions of essential medical products, vaccines, blood and medicines to communities that would otherwise have been difficult to reach. Yet beyond policy and infrastructure, the true strength of our response lay in our people. This bottle, like many others, stood firm in the midst of the storm, not because it was untouched, but it was because it was anchored on a strong human foundation. The doctors, the nurses, the technicians, and the support staff rose to the occasion, often under immense pressure. They became the bridge that ensured that even in crisis, hope was not lost. If there are lessons we must carry forward as a nation, it is this: health is not partisan. Disease does not recognize political colors, and access to care must never depend on circumstance or privilege.
We had the former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo asking the current administration to complete the Agenda 111 hospitals to boost healthcare delivery in the country. Meanwhile, the President has ordered Roads Minister to submit a response to Big Push sole sourcing allegations. We'll go into that story next, but anti-LGBTQ bill not garners most pressing concern, but must be addressed through democratic processes, says the President. Schools under 3, government target 400 new schools, 1 million decks this year, according to the President, John Dramani Mahama. While the President pushes for a return of civic education to tackle indiscipline, sanitation challenges in the country. The Black Stars falls to a late goal in their game against Germany in the MHP Arena in Stuttgart today. The Black Stars fall by 2 goals to 1. It was a late goal in that game, and I know most people are not excited about the Black Stars for falling. They were holding on. I wonder why they all withdrew to go back to defend the 1-1. Maybe it's because they were walloped by 5 goals, so they tried to play it safe this time around, but they couldn't hold their own, and it happened that they succumbed to the pressure in that game. But all the same, they're done better than what we saw in the earlier game against Austria. This is perfect. But what is happening with that Ajete guy creating penalty in all the 2 games we've played so far? I don't know, but that is what I've seen. The same person against Austria gives it the first penalty. Against Germany, the same player again. Can we count on him? It's a big question we need to look at. Well, let me go to the roads where sole sourcing is becoming another thing. Governs Kwame Agbodza, the road and highway minister, has denied allegation of scandal surrounding the Big Push infrastructure program, stating that all contract has been awarded lawfully and transparently. He, however, revealed that only 44% of the major contracts were sole sourced, with over 400 contractors were awarded through open competitive bidding. Agboja emphasized that the program is being implemented in compliance with Ghana's procurement law and is subject to continuous parliamentary scrutiny. He also highlighted that government has put in place strict accountability measures, including independent value for money assessment and enhanced monitoring system. The minister comment comes in response to allegations of widespread sole sourcing, potential cost inflation raised by investigative outlet, the Fourth Estate. Agboja dismissed these claims as mischievous and deliberate falsehood. Let's take a listen to him at the floor of Parliament.
To give an update of the government's flagship Big Push project to this House. Right Honourable Speaker, honourable members of this august House, I present to you an update of President Mahama's flagship infrastructure development project, the Big Push. Mr. Speaker may recall that President Mahama dedicated the first 2 years of the Big Push program to address unprecedented deplorable state of our road network. Through the Big Push infrastructure program launched in 2025, the government is investing heavily in repairing critical roads, upgrading key economic corridors, creating jobs, and reducing the cost of doing business across all 16 regions. The program places strong emphasis on Ghanaian contractors and workers, helping to strengthen local technical expertise in construction sector. Mr. Speaker, the Big Push program has received strong support from Parliament so far. This House has approved nearly 50 billion for these multi-year road and bridge projects. We appreciate the support from leadership and members of this House. As I speak, Mr. Speaker, over 2,000 kilometers of roads in all 16 regions of our country are under extensive transformation. Mr. Speaker, in times past, we have all been concerned by the state of our roads, mindful of the amount of monies invested. In the spirit of probity, accountability, and transparency, we encourage the public to remain engaged in monitoring the project in their localities, and we always appreciate their constructive feedback. Mr. Speaker, recently, an online platform requested for details about ongoing road projects, and same was willingly and timeously provided. There was no attempt to conceal any information. I am grateful for the opportunity to update Parliament on the status of implementation of Big Push project, infrastructure project. Mr. Speaker, no ministry is subjected to as much consistent scrutiny as the Ministry of Roads. On average, about 10 questions are filed weekly, covering wide-ranging issues from contract awards to project costs and timeliness. The ministry also regularly gets invitation for committees of Parliament to respond to development within the sector. Mr. Speaker, I welcome the scrutiny. It strengthens accountability and ensures that we remain aligned with the expectations of Ghanaian people. I wish to assure the House that I take the responsibility entrusted in me with the utmost seriousness. I remain fully committed to delivering on our mandate with integrity, transparency, and efficiency. Mr. Speaker, prior to 2024 election, it was clear that majority of Ghanaians were not happy with the deplorable and dangerous nature of roads across the country. They made it a condition that when given the mandate, the government of President Mahama should take urgent and immediate steps to improve the country's road network. This has been justifiably followed by consistent questions of timeliness and from members of this House as to when the roads in their constituencies will be improved. Mr. Speaker, this is a House of record. Let me state unequivocally that all contracts awarded under the program were done in strict adherence to the Public Procurement Act and its accompanying regulations. Mr. Speaker, all contractual information is publicly available and on the ministry's website. The Big Push roads were identified, or the original Big Push project identified were just 12 major economic corridors across the country, which were christened the 12 disciples. These projects were later broken into 54 lots to foster competition and speed up implementation. Mr. Speaker, additionally, 23 road projects valued at 14.88 billion, which were awarded by the previous administration and abandoned by contractors due to lack of dedicated funding and were absorbed as part of Big Push. These projects were novated to be Big Push under the new funding. Mr. Speaker, these are some of the projects. The design and construction of Swami Interchange and ancillary works, Phase 1. Design and construction of Swami Interchange Local Road, Phase 2. Takoradi Agona rehabilitation and dualization of Takoradi Agona Junction, including 2 number dual carriageway bridges. Rehabilitation of Tepa Mabangoso Road. Reconstruction of Jinijini Sampa Road. Rehabilitation and upgrading of Kaswa Winiba Road. Rehabilitation of Kaswa Winiba, different lots up to 3. Rehabilitation of Ofanko Nsawam Road. Design, build, and dualization of Adenta Dodowa. Upgrading of Nkwanta Otidamanko Road. Upgrading of Nkwanta Otidamanko kilometer 0 to 50.3.
So you had the Minister for Roads and Highway Governance, Kwame Agboja, with issues that surround the sole sourcing, where he said only 44% of the roads were sole sourced. Now what happened? Why should it be 44%? There's always this story. But meanwhile, the president, John Dramani Mahama, will not let this matter die. The president has directed the road minister, Kwame Governance Agboja, to submit a detailed response to allegations of sole sourcing contract under the Big Push program. The program has been accused of relying heavily on sole sourcing, with 81 contractors worth over 73 billion Ghana cedis awarded in just 7 months. Agboja has defended a contract stating only 44% of major contracts were awarded through sole sourcing, while over 400 contracts were awarded through open competitive bidding. He emphasized that the procurement process was transparent, with all contracts published on the ministry website. He also highlighted that the program is aimed at improving Ghana's road infrastructure, but the question is, what are the implications of the Big Push program sole source allegations in Ghana's economy? That's a big question we all need to ask ourselves. The president is asking for a response from the sector minister to clear the air. Remember, the minority has also raised eyebrows with regards to this. So you ask yourself, what are the implications of the Big Push program sole sourcing allegations? Sole sourcing allegations surrounding the Big Push raises concern about transparency and accountability and value for money potential implications for Ghana's economy, which include loss of trust in government procurement process. It will also increase the risk of corruption and mismanagement, higher costs due to lack of competitive bidding, and also reduce economic benefits from infrastructure projects. The impact on Ghana's credit rating and investor confidence is also one thing that is also at stake. Our government needs to address these concerns to ensure the program achieves its goal and benefit Ghanaians. That is where I can put it. There's a lot we can say. So you can also share your thoughts with us on 053-715-8638. 053-715-8638 is the numbers you can also share your thoughts with us. Let's get to hear you. What do you make of the president now calling that the allegation, I mean, the sector minister said it, it's at 44%. It is all over. So it's not mere allegation now. It's not a rhetoric. We should move away from that and go into serious business. Now, the building that collapsed in Accra Newtown was an abandoned project by funded by the Ghana Education Trust Fund, GET Fund, initiated in 2012 but left incomplete. 3 people died, 20 survivors were rescued, and they're now at the hospital. The Vice President, Professor Nana Jino Pokuachiman, expressed dissatisfaction with the lack of supervision and maintenance of the project. This is a project that has been abandoned since 2012. So where from the supervision then? Whose responsibility is it that this building is completed? We've done politics with everything. This is a GET Fund project. What are the materials that went into it? That now the building, after some 14 years down the line, has caved in. The Interior Minister, Mohamed Mutaka Mobara, confirmed the casualties, stating that authority verified the numbers through multiple agencies. The National Association of Local Authorities of Ghana, President Alfred Asidu called for a review of abandoned public projects and improved inspection systems to prevent similar incidents. Let's go to Accra Newtown. I will be back.
Over yet. It's just that we've entered another phase of disaster management. Initially, the focus was to save lives and to ensure that no other person was affected. And so that was done. We were able to rescue all the people that were trapped in the building. Even yesterday night. It's unfortunate we lost 3 of them, but the rest are all alive and receiving treatment at various hospitals. So we've entered the next phase of our disaster response activity, where we clear the disaster sites to make the place safer for the community to decide what next to do with the site. So we've entered something that is different from emergency response to save lives and property. And that shows that somehow, small a country that we are very ready for some of these emergencies. Procedures have been done. We came here with the sniffer dogs. They were able to go through the rubbles. We confirmed. And even with the further work of breaking down the beams and other things, we didn't see any other objects or any other person under the rubble. So clearly it shows that no other person is under this rubble.
Trying to reach out to the families, the deceased family. I know it's not easy. We pray that God gives the bereaved family some courage, because I know this experience is not an easy one. You get up in the morning, you say you are going to church and you are not able to come back. It's a sad situation. The school, they were already doing some renovation works in the main school. This project was one of the Millennium projects, and it was during the Atamel's time that it was put up. Unfortunately, when NDC lost power in 2016, we were not able to actually work on it again. When we came back, myself, I have actually followed up on it. They were supposed to have done testing on it. GET Fund came to have a look at it, and the municipal has also had a look at it. Unfortunately, this incident has happened. I don't want us to go into details as to why certain things happen, but at the moment, the structure has been brought down, and we are, as we speak right now, we are hoping that there's nobody in there, because yesterday when the Honorable Minister brought the dogs in there and they went inside it, they couldn't detect life in there. We are hoping that once they collect the debris, there's nobody in there, and then we can look at how we are going to look into what led to this and how we can prevent it. We speak right now, even I'm getting reports for us to go and have a look at other structures. This is going to take a new look into some of the structures that have been abandoned for a while. I think it's a national issue. This is not just a Yawasu Central issue. It's a national issue. With the students here yesterday, the MC declared that they shouldn't come to school today. We don't want them to come to this site, assuming they are clearing debris and they find,
All right, so welcome back from Accra Newtown Experimental DA Primary School, where the question is, are abandoned government projects becoming death traps? Go to Tema, you see a lot of silos that has been abandoned during from the era of Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah to date. is there. At a death trap, there's so many watches standing in those silos you can think of. The question you ask yourself, are we ever going to be serious as a nation? Are we ever going to be serious as a nation? So that's the story from the projects that have been abandoned. Meanwhile, what are the implications of abandoning public projects in Ghana's economic growth? When we abandon our public projects, we can have significant implications on the country's economy. Now, waste of water resources. Abandoned projects resulted in the wasted resources, including financial investment, labor, as well as materials. Uncompleted projects means lost opportunities for economic growth, job creation, and improved infrastructure. Abandoned projects often requires additional funds to complete, increasing the overall cost and burden on taxpayers. Abandoned projects can deter investors, undermine confidence in Ghana's economic stability and governance. Uncompleted projects hinder progress in key sectors like healthcare, education, and transportation, affecting Ghana's development goals. Now, let's look at the sector by sector. Impact of abandoned project: inadequate infrastructure, imparting quality of education when you go to education sector. Now, healthcare: insufficient facilities affecting healthcare delivery. Now, we showed you a hospital that has been abandoned, no water, no light. The equipment, the air conditions have been fixed, but it's been left abandoned. Roads and transportation: when we abandon those, poor connectivity, increased travel time, and costs. How can we prioritize project completion to maximize economic benefits? That's a question. I mean, what role can a public-private partnership play in completing abandoned projects? Should Ghana implement stricter penalties for abandoning public projects? We should be thinking about all this and see how we can deal with all the situation. And that takes us to my final bit for this morning and for this evening before we go for the phone line. Hey, I got some few more minutes to wrap up. The question I'm going to ask, should I ask or shouldn't I ask? I need to ask because my viewers would love to find out. How many of you remember this young man called Miracle Abuaji, who was a spokesperson for then the flag bearer of the NPP? Currently, he's the flag bearer of the NPP. Then I don't know whether he will still be. He believed that the NDC misled Ghanaians to believe that 24-hour economy is feasible. The National Democratic Congress has been accused of misleading Ghanaians with their 24-hour economic policy, according to Dennis Miracle Abuaji, Director of Communications for the 2024 Baumia campaign. Abuaji claims the policy was oversold and lacks a clear roadmap for implementation, with many promises such as the 133 employment model missing from the actual policy document. Abuaji argued that the policy is a rebranded version of existing initiatives like the Ghana Beyond Aid chapter and doesn't offer anything new or transformative. He also questioned the feasibility of implementing a 24-hour economy nationwide, citing concerns over funding, security, and infrastructure. The NDC, however, presented a 24-hour economy as a game changer aimed to increase productivity, create jobs, and drive the economy growth in 12 priority sectors, including agro-processing, manufacturing, and healthcare. But first, before your input, let's watch and hear him.
You went to your manifesto launch. You placed a clock on stage beside the podium by the president. Then you, how do you call it? You spun it. And then the thing moved. It's like a clock. They said, this is the 24-hour economy clock. 133. 3 shift jobs. Obia bedidi peche. For the 24-hour economy policy to work. the security services must be increased by at least 30,000. I just played the video. I'm basically paraphrasing him. I played the video. He was quite emphatic. Security services must be increased by at least 30%, 30,000, because at night, when the workers are going to their shifts, they would need the security services to protect them. See, that comment is loaded with so many things. That goes directly to confront this government and what their plans are for the country. In the first place, basically what you are telling us is that in the current scenario where you are unable to increase the security services by that number of about 30,000, 24-hour economy is in danger. You were quite clear. Number two, you promised the people that you are going to give them a 3-shift job system. They went to queue for that. Cancel. People actually went to queue for that. Why? Everybody goes to the poll not because I am Ewe, I am Ashanti, I am Christian, I am Muslim, or I am tall or short. People go and vote for policies and things that will benefit them. Like the university students. People who could not have completed senior high school, but for free SHS, voted against MPP. You know why? Because they were done with that free SHS. They were looking out for themselves on how they can progress to tertiary. There was a different person promising them free school fees at the university level 100. So even though you have done them so much good, they voted against you. Don't blame them. They were looking out for themselves. So today, if you have 500,000 young people going to queue and buy forms for security services, it is because of the promise. And they had so much hope in you that you would do better than the previous guy because you gave them the numbers. After all, people were going to work, the organizers were going to work at 2 a.m. on the Techiman Road. They are going to sell police forms. Let me go and buy some. On this 24-hour economy thing, why I kept saying that 24-hour economy is a demand and supply situation. It's a push and pull scenario. 24-hour economy in itself is not a policy. It's an outcome from sets of policies. I kept saying this. You were here.
That's right. That's right.
And I even kept saying that to even make the people believe that public sector is even going to run a 3-shift system itself was a problem. You remember, I remember very well, I used to ask on this panel whether where I used to work at the local government ministry, they were going to run 24-hour economy. And some people in the NDC actually told me yes, and that I was a naysayer. Here we are. You see, when you see people taking on the government, and I heard them say that the goodwill must be sustained. Let's say the goodwill is gone. Rather, they owe the country goodwill. In fact, they don't have bad will yet. Let me give them that.
All right, so the phone line, I've got some few more minutes. 053-715-8638 is the numbers. Reach me a friend. 053-715-8368 is 1 minute per person. Got a few more minutes. Let me get to hear you. The president has distanced himself from an ongoing proceedings to extradite the former finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, stressing that the matter lies entirely within the jurisdiction of the United States and must follow due legal process. Addressing participants in a presidential dialogue with the Civil Service Society organization at the Jubilee House today, the president said it would be inappropriate for him to make pronouncement on a case being handled outside Ghana's authority. It's momentum. Stories that we've shared out this evening just before we all go to bed. What do you make of it? What do you think about it? 053-715-8638 is the numbers. You can let me hear from you. Mamento on cancer na sorry jumedie so. Ene enyumre. Who say niyama bebre ewo ho. I was say idi ho nkomo.
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
But you would need baby offer your name where reaching us live from.
FM Wilson Dakura.
Okay.
I'm calling from Obuasi.
Right, let's hear you.
What Mekabaye is saying, I don't buy his idea. They came to power and they mismanaged the economy, and now he's talking about a 24-hour economy. That 24-hour economy is what? Misled. How can it be misled? So what Abaje is saying is not true.
It's not true. All right. Thank you so much. 0537158638 is the numbers.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night. God bless you too. 0537158638. Mame Nsonka, let me get to hear you. Got some 5 minutes to go. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Your name, where reaching us live from?
I'm Alassane Mohammed, reaching from Northern Region, Zabzugo district.
Zabzugo. How is everybody in Zabzugo?
Yes, please. We are doing
great. All right, talk to me.
Yes, please. This NEC 24 policy, our economy, this policy 24-hour economy, it's just a twisted scam. From the time that they were doing their campaign, the definition they give to 24-hour economy and what they promise the use of Ghanaians, I'm a graduate myself. It prompted us to vote for them. But at the end of the day, they turn us giving different definitions to the 24-hour economy. And now just look at the contract that they are giving to these victims or this scam that they call victims. Look at the number of contracts that they have given to, and the inflated figures to that particular contract. It tells you that we need not to trust them as Ghanaians. You understand? One will continue to look at what is going on. It's driving people away from going into politics in Ghana. So there are a lot to be said about this. The time will not stay up. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Have a great and a good night in the northern sector. Zabzugo. Hello. Yeah. 0537158638 is the numbers. Let me get to hear you. Got some. Maybe we can do some 4 more calls. A minute for each person. Then we can do 4. 053715. Hello. Good evening. Hello. Good evening.
Evening.
Yes, sir. Your name, where reaching us live from?
Malta.
Okay. From?
Augusto.
All right. Let's hear you. Until.
What the MP man is saying is not true. He's talking lies. What about the 1.5 years now, and you are now complaining. 8 years, you couldn't even show us Agenda 111, and you are now complaining. In 1.5 years. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great night out there too for also joining us and adding your voice. Like us to hear you too. Have a good night. 0537158638 is the numbers. Got a few more minutes. We can do 1, 2, 3. That we can go. 0537158638. Hello. Good evening. Good evening. Your name, where you're reaching us live from? Hello, good evening. Your name, where you're reaching us live. Can you turn the volume of your TV set down, please?
Hello.
Kindly turn the volume of your TV set down, please. Kindly help us turn the volume of your TV set down.
Hello.
Hello, good evening. Your name, where you're reaching us live from?
Yeah, my name is Hussein, calling from Techima Bono East.
Right, Hussein, Techima Bono East. Let's go.
Yeah, thanks for your program.
You're welcome.
Yeah, really, the system or the economy today, because of it that every Ghanaian is feeling it, that all the needy ones and the high class people, we are all enjoying it equally. By when you go into the market of buying food stuff, in fact, today I raise my head and look at God that some people are really evil and they are devil in ruling our own society, because At the time, I could use 100 cedis to purchase a foodstuff like cassava and plantain for fufu. Today, I use 20 cedis to purchase that same item. So I was wondering. So what I'll plead the government that it should look at the farmers, like their input, their farm inputs like fertilizer and agrochemicals, to reduce the price for them so that they can also, because they are holding the economy. In fact, today we are feeling it. We are all feeling it.
All right.
Whether MPP, NDC, everybody is feeling the goodness of the economy.
All right then. Thank you so much. Have a great night. The president has ordered a full probe into the Fourth Estate allegations, demands accountability from the roads minister. Kwame governs Abuja. 44%. Soul sourcing. 053715. I think I can do one single call, then we can go. 053717158638. We need to go. Let me do the final call, then we go. Hello, good evening.
Sorry, this is Alaka Mohammed again. The NDC guy mentioned that NPP didn't do anything in our first year. In our year, NPP, this is their 1.5 year. But I want to assure Ghanaians that we delivered things in our high school in our first year. And 24-hour economy was their main priority, and that was their main promise to Ghana. So they should have also delivered 24-hour economy in their first year, because they will think that they promised to deliver on their first year. Like this LGBTQ, fighting galamsey, and this other menace. They couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. Some judge even promised they can use 3 weeks to end galamsey when the military is well resourced. But where? Look at the way the thing is working. So MPP did well by delivering free senior high school in our first year. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So that happens to be my final call for tonight's edition of the News Focus live and direct from our studios here on the 10th Avenue Extension, Greater Estate. I want to say a big thank you to my viewers, my callers, my testers, as we bring tonight's News Focus to a closure. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir. 60 seconds. Let's go, because my time is up.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Your name, where are you watching us from?
I'm Daniel.
Daniel, let's hear you.
The rider for the government of Ghana proposed to bring their country.
Daniel, if you could position yourself well.
It will help with about not pose the government. Thank you.
All right. Have a good night, Daniel. That happens to be my final call. But as we bring tonight's news focus to a close, the collapse of abandoned transport weak oversight and a system that allows public projects to be left unfinished and unsecured. This is not just about building, it's about a pattern that continues to put lives at risk and waste national resources. The call tonight is simple: accountability, agency, and action. Ghana cannot afford to keep building and abandoning. We must build and we must finish. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and good night.